I find it really odd that Kelli would confide in Angela. I mean, didn't her neck hurt when she was doing that?
I gotta tell you. Say what you want to say about Drew, but she's got the one-liners. She's got the one-liners for your behind. You know, it was all really about hot pockets and little Kelly crumpets and drinks.
About not eating waffles and not eating carbs.
Yes, 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 yes. I think the line of the century was Drew saying that she couldn't have conflict because she has waffles in her belly. I have to tell you, Drew's kind of funny.
I found this episode better than the first one in
Oh,
terms of getting to the point. I found K. Michelle to be the star in this
absolutely star.
episode. And
Absolutely a star.
I loved how this episode took a moment to really feature her between her tragedy in the end with her unfortunate silicone implants,
Yeah.
the BBL situation. And she's been talking about that, by the way, you guys, for a really long time. I actually heard this around 5 years ago about K. Michelle, and she did a show about bad plastic surgery. So, but she
Yeah.
did admit that it was illegal. And then we also saw her buy her house. We met her husband. He's a dentist, so now he has to get that license in Atlanta. So just very K heavy.
What I really appreciated about this episode is that they really took a lot of time. Production took a lot of time to build up the character arcs of who these women really are. And I walked away just kind of really super impressed with the bosses in the room, from Pinky to K. Michelle to Kelly, and her restaurant. And so I thought it was a little bit different that there seemed to be a theme of we are going to highlight these attributes of what these women not only bring to the table, but they literally owned whatever tables they're sitting.
Yes.
And Pinky has my attention. Her and her husband, couple goals right there. Both of them are building empires on their own, and together they are like literally an empire to themselves with the restaurants that they own. And the vulnerability and the emotion that she and her husband displayed when he was talking about being there for her, in pursuit of his goals. And best line ever, and I'm probably not saying it right, but I'm going to be there for you no matter what. I'm concerned that when I'm elevating and I'm building out my businesses, I'm thinking about you and how to take you up with me. I mean, that is what your husband needs to say to you all the time. So
Yeah.
part of every step I take. And absolutely gorgeous episode. Or
God, yes.
gorgeous moment.
I also found their relationship as well as Kay and her husband's to be really cute relationships.
Yeah.
I feel like both those couples love each other. And I don't not feel like Charles and Angela love each other, but it's the constant joke
Oh,
that I think have me a little like,
well,
it's the constant jokes at her expense.
that's a bit bold.
I wish he was supportive enough to like just comfort her sometimes.
Well, we don't know if that's not happening. This could be his television persona.
That is true. Uh,
So
The editing might be editing.
yeah, I want to tread lightly on that one. In fact, I'd like to say, just my impression of Charles and Angela is that this is a couple that's been married for a long time. She was really a true wag, a wife and girlfriend of an athlete, and has probably been through some things. Who knows how that marriage has been tested? And coming out of the other side of that, he's retired, and I feel that they just kind of have that relationship where dry humor kind of not quite to this level, but what we call playing the dozens, the teasing back and forth is part of the relationship. And it could be that that's how they show love.
No,
But
exactly. It very well could be because
yeah,
some people just Josh, like some Jones or whatever
yeah,
you want to call it.
yeah, exactly, exactly. But I could see what you're saying. I think what I hear you saying is that you would like to see her more elevated, and for Charles to talk to her the way Pinky's husband did. But we don't know. They're doing something right. They still
Well,
together.
they have been together for 10 years, right?
Yeah, they always have a smile on their face, so
That
can't
is
be
a
that
long
bad.
time. That's true. She always has a smile on her face, and he does cook every day. We cannot
Yeah.
neglect the when your man is cooking that much food, I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd be like, "Baby, I love
Right.
you."
But before we get into the meat of it, I want to say that this cast right now,
Mhm.
next to Rhode Island, collectively are works of art. They are the most beautiful cast. I don't
Mhm.
know if it's the GLPs, I don't know what has happened, but all of them are fit,
Ooh,
they're tight, they're taut, they're gorgeous, and it looks like they're having fun this season.
yes.
Yeah, with the exception of Porsha.
I was actually just thinking about Portia. Okay. I am not a stan of Portia. I always take the side of who I think is right in the moment. Like, even if I love somebody, if they're wrong, I'll be like, no, she was wrong.
Yes.
So I feel like Kelly started with Portia by saying a comment about her in the after show. So I believe in an eye for an eye. And I feel like if somebody does something to you, they deserve something like worse to happen to them. And I think
Okay,
Portia,
noted. You guys heard it
I
here
am
first. If you
Persian.
find me in an alley somewhere, you know that somebody went eye for an eye and her name is Kat.
What did you do to me first? Did you stab me? Because what
Yeah.
no, but I just feel like Portia was doing her duty as a woman who loves herself to have her own back.
Yeah, well, here's what I like to say. I love this trio. When I saw K Michelle, Portia, and Kelly coming together, I call it tea time for queens. It worked for me. It made sense for me, and I was really rooting for Kelly and Portia to be friends. I think that they both play dirty because that is the job. My only criticism is that it was a bit rich to bring up Kelly being involved with possibly a married man when it has been put out there that Simon was indeed married when they met and they started dating. So, I mean, to your point, eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, if these things are both true, they're both, you know, two sides of the same coin. And even if this isn't true for you, Portia, it has been put out there that that is the narrative of how, she and Simon got together. I would have hoped that there would have been a little bit more grace in that way. Hey, he
I
said this
mean,
about you. Don't know if it's true. Woo, 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 woo. So, but
yeah.
everybody knows that. I mean, has always suspected that.
Agree with you. I just think just because it's true doesn't mean your castmate has to say it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was a low blow.
Yeah, but that's the job.
She was just doing her job, right?
Yes, yes, I 1,000%. But I'm also saying that we have doing the job, and then as somebody watching, aspirationally, I would love to see them come together because I think they're better together than apart. Just like I thought Kenya and Portia would have been a powerhouse, but sometimes the job is not going to let you see that because they have to go low. They have to do the job of a housewife and stir up conflict, and that was a perfectly poised, production informed, stir the pot drama that I think feel that was brought to the surface for the purpose of starting conflict.
Oh, absolutely. That I agree with you. I think production definitely had a hand in this. I think they put them three together at that tea and brunch spot just to kind of get into it.
Yeah, and at the same time, I'm looking at a thing. I'm like, okay, this is a trio, that makes sense. Portia feeling that Kelly's proximity to Shamia and her accusations that Portia needs to stop sleeping with married men, that could very well be a well-founded piece of advice, based on what we know about Portia and Simon's relationship. But I did think it was funny how Portia was really the equivalent of a walking CVS receipt. And
I know.
and I thought that was a funny line. I am the receipt, and all I could think of was a CVS receipt. And Portia, that
Right
makes
here.
sense to me.
Like Monique's scroll or whatever her book.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I thought it was curious that K Michelle just was kind of the mature one in that triad and was like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. I literally, she was caught off guard. You could see she was caught off guard. And I wonder, how does K Michelle register all that given her time on Love and Hip Hop, where she was a very much a part of the central conflict. There was conflict going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I wonder how she's adjusting to this.
So, because Robin said some unkind words about K Michelle coming on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I saw her come back to Robin. And I think that if somebody on the show comes after K Michelle, they'll probably get the same kind of reaction. I just think it's that she knows her yet. So she doesn't have any conflict yet. But let's wait and see when she has some conflict.
Yeah, it seems like she's trying to reinvent her life and walk away from that toxic period where she was on Love and Hip Hop, and now she's in Atlanta. So I'm curious to see how she evolves with these women when we know conflict is a central part of this show. I would say that she's probably not the one to come for, going to, eviscerate you. So and I believe at some point it sounds like her and Porsha might go head to head, toe to toe, which makes me
Yes,
sad, but it's curious at the same time. Um,
I
but I
know.
like the way she tried to mend them together. And it was interesting how she was sitting in the middle. And I don't know if that was a production thing or not, but she did look like
Yeah.
a maker when she was sitting there. So I was glad that they hugged it out. It was a hug out of the century for so many reasons. If you were watching, you know why. No need to get into all of that. I didn't realize how short and cute Kelly is. She's a tiny little thing.
She is so tiny. She must be like four something.
Gotta be. I did not
Because
realize.
I'm 5 feet,
You know, granted, Portia had probably like 3 6 inch heels on,
which makes her adorable.
but what really moved me was I'm really interested in K Michelle's country career. I'm really
Oh, yeah, same.
excited to hear her do her thing. I wish they would have caught footage of that at the American Country Music Awards. That would have been amazing. But she really tugged at my heart with something you mentioned earlier, which was the implant surgery. And my God, this woman has been through, excuse my language, hell and back.
Hell and back.
She she does not shy away from the fact that she was an exotic dancer, and that was done for her to fund her career in her early days of her career. I
Mhm.
love her honesty. She puts it out there.
Yeah.
I love her
Yeah, me
attitude,
too.
and then she was this breakout star on Love and Hip Hop, and that
Mhm.
led to her having a very successful R&B career, but not without a lot of like scars. I mean, she was a victim of domestic violence. There was a period where she was involved with Kelli, and she recounts a period of manipulation,
I
isolation,
heard,
and
yeah.
emotional abuse. And then on top of that, she's got this health crisis. And this is a woman who carries a lot of scars, and I hate that she has these scars, but I kind of love it, and that it's going to bring a whole different depth of emotional energy to the show and maturity to the show that I think we've needed.
So true, Elle.
Yeah.
Because as somebody like this is such a I'm not even trying to make anything about me, but as a person who has chronic illness,
Mm,
when I
mhm.
see somebody with lupus or when I see somebody with arthritis like Gigi, it really does make me
Yes.
feel like I'm seen. And while she doesn't have a chronic illness, it's painful and I experience pain. And it really touches my heart that somebody is being showcased that has this issue, you know?
Mhm, mhm.
And you were right when you said that you loved how they were bringing in this new businesswoman energy because look at Pinky. Pinky said she lost it all. She got it all back. She bought her business back in 43 days. You go, Pinky.
Man, I was just in awe of her story. And no fakery about her. No, dare I say,
Mm-hmm.
fakery about her. She's putting it all out there. Yes, I had riches and I went to rags and I did this and I brought my business back. And I just want to sit and talk to her and say, how do we move? How do I move like you? Like, I'm loving,
I know.
you and naming her Jamaican roots and crediting her mother for making her a boss. Um, it's starting small and then it just blew up and then who knows what happened after that and then getting it back, buying her business back. I mean, talk about persistence, talk about an aspirational role model. Something I thought I'd never see on Real Housewives of Atlanta,
On Real Housewives of Atlanta.
right?
We come from the Kim Zolciak era. I mean, what do you want us to do?
Yeah, I
We're
mean,
gonna have a lot
it's
of
a good
good.
years though too. I mean, those are that's what I mean, that season of Atlanta really became the standard, I think, because
Yeah.
the clapbacks, the conflict, and yet through it all, they were all still kind of friends, but they did not mind
Sure.
dating each other and shifted a wig. I mean, it was beautiful. Who gonna check me boo energy? We need some of that
Oh,
back. And I think
I,
Kim Michelle is
yeah.
gonna bring the who gonna check me boo energy.
Joggers.
Yes. Oh, I love the joggers.
Spring, summer.
I'm waiting for my sheaf for sure.
Can I get a hat? Can I get a tank top?
I'm waiting for my order.
Listen, Sheree, if you're listening to this, we will promote She by Sheree if we could just get a shirt. That's all we want. Kidding. Kidding.
I'll promote it. I think Sheree is phenomenal. And there again, another woman who was a victim of domestic violence and emotional abuse. And we saw it on camera. And that was the one time that I have to give a stand up. Well, many other times so too, but really where Kenya came out of her role as housewife and really rode for Sheree
Hmm.
on that bus ride. I can't remember where they were. I think it might have been Jamaica or somewhere.
It
But
was some vacation,
yeah,
yeah.
man, it was something
Oh,
to watch.
he
Talk about
said, you deserved it or something,
yes,
right?
yeah, or something to that
I
effect.
wanted to cry, like,
Yeah,
when I saw that.
yeah.
Imagine he was telling her that the whole time. I'm a victim of domestic violence within my first marriage, and
Mhm.
he would say stuff like that to me,
Oh
like,
my.
"This is your fault. If you didn't do this, I wouldn't have to do this," stuff like that, so and I have no shame, I will say it.
The people are so, not to get on a rant, but I just want to say this real quickly for anybody who's listening who's been through this, so quick to say, "Oh, well, you should just leave. That would never happen." You don't know what it will ever happen to you, and you don't know what you would do in that situation. So anybody that's gotten out of that, kudos to you. You guys are rock stars, really, really, in fact. So,
That's so sweet, thank you.
um, question for you: what's going on with Kelly's dog?
Oh, because
What? What? What
I
is
thought
the
the same thing. I was like, "What kind of
what's happening
dog?
here? There's a lot
What
going on.
dog is this?"
The dog just looked like, why? The dog, he couldn't even look at the camera. He's just like, I don't know
He
what.
was so embarrassed. He was just like, "Mom, don't do this. Mom,
He was
please.
so
Kelly,
embarrassed.
come on, don't do this to
Look at
us."
your dog like that.
Oh my God. So you feel like Kelly is a good addition?
Kelly doesn't bother me. Kelly doesn't bother me.
She doesn't bother me at all. I swear, no dislike. I'm just not sure if she's like her spot would maybe be better replaced with a Kenya, fingers crossed, or a Nene at some point, fingers crossed. I just want to see my OGs back and like in the mix. Sheree, I want to see the
I
OGs.
think we have to give Kelly an opportunity to shape her story and come into her own. And I think honestly, just to even compare any of these women to a Nene and Sheree who just kind of are their own iconic, that's going to be a hard sell. But I think what you're also probably saying is that you want to see somebody bring that kind of, we know you're a boss, but now bring that disruptive energy, bring that not
Hmm.
caring kind of energy. Who's going to check me boo energy is what I call it.
Exactly.
But
She was never scared.
but I think that there's enough women. That's a big cast that we have. I think there's enough women that can do that work. I think K Michelle is definitely going to be putting in work that way because she's
Hmm.
not going to shy away from a conflict. I mean, the woman does not mind walking out of a party with their wig off. And that's a woman that I can respect because she literally just doesn't care. She's authentically herself.
Told the producers I'm in the hospital and they legally don't even have to ask her, you know?
Absolutely. And when you've been through the school of hard knocks like she has, oh yeah, you've been through some things and you probably still have some rage saved up. When somebody comes for you, they're getting all of it. So I think that's what you're probably going to get from K Michelle.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Angela, though, Angela will make you proud because she is now assuming the role as the bone collector.
Yeah,
And
she took Sheree's
yeah,
place.
she's taking Sheree's place beautifully. And had no problem telling Porsha that she is now called Portia.
I liked it. But see, she didn't say it to her face. That's the only thing. I wish Kelly wasn't scared because she basically said, like, Horsha, Horsha, Horsha in that one scene, but that's not bold. That's scared.
I don't think she's scared. I think let's give it time. It's only 2 episodes.
Okay, let's
Let's
let
give it
her
gotta
confront
give it
her.
time. I don't wanna, like, say this is what they were feeling because I don't know, but, I think it's gonna be an interesting season. I'm
Yeah.
to see Drew and Portia finally connecting over a common interest, and, that would be lovely if Drew and Portia can really connect meaningfully, but I think sometimes Drew goes so low, but I don't know if she actually means the shade that she gives or that's just a stick that she does because she always says it with a smile.
I
Never really.
always
Yeah,
I always feel like she's doing a shtick. Like,
I do
I
too.
feel like
I do too sometimes.
Drew is a bit. Like, her whole thing is just a bit. Like she was saying how she was in this amazing sci-fi movie, and I'm just like, do you believe the things you say?
I know. She's, she's funny, but she's never looked better. She's never looked better. I'm so sorry to hear that she has been ordered by a Georgia judge to vacate her home by the
Yeah.
end of May. Um,
Yes.
I don't know what's going on with that divorce. I don't know. I would love to know more. It seems, I mean, in a perfect world, we say just cut the ties and save the kids, save the children, and be adult about it. But who knows what the nuance is with that divorce? But the fact that
Yeah.
that under the basement husband guy, Pittman, Ralph
Pittman,
Pittman,
you know who you're talking about. I was gonna say, I think it's so messed up that okay, so basically the judge ordered Drew to get
right?
out of the house by May 31st. She still has custody of her oldest son, Josiah, because remember when Ralph was gonna adopt him, but then he never did. So there's the two other kids. And I watched this whole breakdown by Simone Redwine and I was given permission to use the name, so go ahead and YouTube it. And she really broke down the fact that Drew makes around 12,000 and Ralph makes 3 times more.
12,000 a month or 12,000 a year?
No, it's not a year. I believe it's a month.
Okay, so he makes about
Yeah, let me go to
7,000.
my exact.
Okay,
I actually have it here.
and it's really the excessive absences that her children were having under her care that's leading
Yes.
looked like she's possibly not as attentive in that way. What
Did all of the absences, and it wasn't just school absences. It turns out that the judge ordered her to bring the kids to therapy, but she had like a lot of absences in the therapy as well.
mm, mm, mm. Well, you know, say what you want about housewives, but each of them has a private demon or struggle that they're dealing with in real time. Same stuff that many women are dealing with in real time.
Yeah.
They just happen to be on a show and we're privy to all of it, sometimes when we really don't even want to be. And I really just hope that she finds her way out of this and, you know, Ralph can come from up under the stairs and see the light
He
and
can now.
and
He's
oh,
allowed now.
yeah, he'll have his house and wherever Drew lands,
Ugh.
that's whether it's a mansion or whether it's an apartment, land happy. That's all.
Yeah.
That's my hope for her, you know?
No, me too. I mean, she has Josiah now, so it's only one. Maybe she can get like a 3 bedroom, hopefully. I don't know. But I I know it's affordable, you know? She does make around 12,000. I have the exact number, but she makes $12,066.90 a month versus Ralph who makes 27,444. That's what it says in the notes. Yeah, and it was an attendance issue.
Yeah. Well, I can understand that. Schools don't play when it comes
Me
to
too. I don't know what happened with
I
that.
get that. 5 absences in your first semester, your kid is failing, pretty much.
Jeez. Yeah, you really can't do absences unless there's a doctor's note.
Yeah, and even that is,
Like
suspect,
iffy.
legit suspect. But anyways, well, so much to cover. Don't want to spend a lot of time on this because I know we're going to be getting to this later this week. But the audacity continues with Amanda and West. They are living their romance out loud for everyone to see and doing it very unapologetically. And
Yeah.
whatever that is or whatever that isn't, it makes me question anybody who does this, not just them, taking this spotlight of the anybody that does this kind of betrayal and tries to find happiness in it. It makes me wonder and do that to a friend and to a group of friends. What demon are you fighting inside? Because everything about it is just gross at this point. I
So
mean,
many aspects. Yeah.
just sit down and experience your relationship in quiet. Go to Fiji somewhere and live under a rock and experience that in private. But I think
Oh,
the reunion is going to be interesting. I know there's been some chatter about uh the Bravo community being upset that she's not on the stage and filming this reunion separately. While there might be a preference to just kind of watch this as an Olympic sport, the takedown that's going to happen, I'm wondering if Ciara's emotional state was put as a priority to determine how to move in the reunion because I gotta imagine that even though it looks like she's living her best life, there's gotta be some fragility there, and just I
pain.
can't imagine what it would be like to see both of them sitting side by side, hand in hand, you know, in the studio together. I'm wondering if she had some say in terms of the positioning of Amanda and West in this reunion and how to move with it.
I hope that's the case because I would hate it if they did this just to protect Amanda and West when Rachel Leviss wasn't protected and she was out in the front lines. I just hate that it's so unfair, you know?
Yeah, but, um and maybe that's a lesson learned. Maybe
Maybe they learned their lesson
maybe it's
from
a lesson
her.
learned. I don't know what drives those decisions, but either way, it's a hard watch to watch the unapologetic audacity of them.
Hmm.
It almost feels as if I have no proof of this, but it made me wonder, are y'all looking for camera time? Are you looking to be like, are you calling paparazzi? Like, what
I
is
thought
it?
that too. I thought, are you calling paparazzi?
Yeah, it's very strange. It's very
Like,
strange.
how do they know exactly where they are at all times?
Yeah, I got nothing on that. I got nothing on that. But well, we gonna see. We as they like to say.
Well, they better get married if that's what they're doing. They better just get married and make it worth it, like Sierra said.
I don't see that happening. I think each other is a safe choice. Amanda doesn't have to commit to him because he is already putting himself out there, and he doesn't have to commit to Amanda because she's technically not really divorced and she's not really married,
Right.
so he can still be West. And some part of me wonders, does a personality like West enjoy this really negative, skewed attention that he's getting from this?
I wonder too, it would seem that way, but I don't know why you would. Unless he's that kind of guy that's like, I got your wife, you know?
Right, right, and that's kinda what I wonder, but
Hmm.
anyway, enough about them and that and all the things. We gotta get to Rhode Island.
Oh, it was so good.
Yes, I gotta catch up with you, I'm so behind.
Just love Rhode
I've gotta
Island.
definitely catch up, but this has definitely been a fun combo, and yeah, that's all I got today.
Aw, I always love talking to you, friend.
I do too. For those of you who are not checking in on Atlanta, because as we know, the ratings are not as high as they could be, you need to pop into it. Okay. Experience
Mhm.
something different. And I think they're really working hard to bring back that energy that this franchise started with that honestly became a model for a lot of other franchises, believe it or not.
Yeah, it
They
did.
don't get their due. They don't get their due. One day we'll talk about the history and the impact of Atlanta and how they
We
have
should.
definitely need to get into that.
We should.
But
Give
anyways,
him a chance. I agree. It's a completely different show.
all right, love. Well, I'll see you on the other side.
Bye, babe. Mwah.
Bye. Mwah. You sound like